What's up, y'all? That was kind of a weird transition. Welcome to Tuesday Night Studio Sessions. My name is Sean. I'm your host. Let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me. Tonight's going to be a little different than I'm used to. I feel like I'm crooked. Am I crooked? I might end up crooked. I've been switching things around in my office. I spent last week was Labor Day weekend, like it had Labor Day in it, so it was a 4-day week. I went to work for 2 days and then I got really sick. So my voice is not back completely yet. But let me know if you can hear me or not. I'm going to try not to scream because by the end of the hour my voice will be trash. But what we're going to talk about tonight is all of that stuff back there. But I want to get into it around 7 o'clock. So for the next 8 minutes, we're just going to kind of go chat and talk a little bit before we get things going. But yeah, how are you guys doing? Did you guys have a good week? It's been an interesting time in my life. My son's playing football, so I am not available on Tuesday nights anymore, at least for the next month or two. So I will be starting. I'll be doing my live streams maybe Monday night, maybe Wednesday night, but I definitely want to get you guys a schedule coming out. I'm doing a lot of work on SeanHydeStudios.com. So hopefully there will be a live stream calendar on there. Hopefully the topics and guests that I have on the show, I want to organize that a little bit better. So this live stream is a little bit more than kind of something I thought up on, Sunday afternoon. And then, I'm kind of scrambling around to get it ready by Tuesday night. But yeah, let me know how you guys are doing. Chevy said, "You son of a gun. You got an RTX 2080. Yes, I did, son. Overclocked edition. But yeah, that was the hardest thing for me to install, to be honest. But I will get into that a little bit later. We're going to try a couple things out. I'm going to be streaming some from my phone, just like I did last week at the football game. But I want to have like a close-up camera that I can stick in the computer and all that kind of stuff so you guys can see it. But I'm also running the live stream from the computer, so I can't like put it on a display table and show you guys and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to leave it on the desk where it's at. I tried to put my Philips Hue lights around it as best I could. Actually thinking about turning the walls behind my rig back to white. Because about a year ago when I was doing the live stream, I changed it to the dark blue that kind of matches the curtains back there. But I think I want to have like a white corner with like all the RGB like beautiness going on back there. And I was going to put a hat on. I forgot to put the hat on before we started. So, little greasy because I'm not 100% yet. I'm about 80% from when I was sick. So, and I'm going to get a little flushed tonight, just so you know. But let me know if you can hear the computer. Is there like a fan noise at the bottom? Let me know. So, what time is it? 6:55, 6:56. We're going to talk I'm going to jab for another 4 minutes, and then we're going to kind of get into the presentation. And then I'm going to cut out, if the chat's going good, then I think we'll stay on. But I'm still a little sick, a little sniffly. So I've got plenty of fluids in front of me, so you'll probably see me drinking a lot. But yeah. So, first of all, I want to just... So, Eat More Possum says there's a fan noise. Jet Martin says there is some fan noise, but not too bad. I've got one fan underneath me, and I've got the case open, So you're probably hearing a lot of the fans that are coming out of it. So next week when the box is closed, it might be a little bit better, or I might just put like a piece of foam over there on it. I won't get to see all the goodness anymore, but just when I do live streams or whatever. But so I'll tell you a couple stories of why I upgraded my computer and kind of what took me on this journey. I've told some of you guys, but I'm just going to say it again since this is the live stream that we're going to talk about it. So my son came up to me and he was like, "Dad, I want a PC." And I said, "Well, we don't have it in the budget to buy you a PC right now, but I do have it in the Shawnide Studios budget to upgrade my creative rig, and since it's part of the business, I can, for tax I can claim it on my taxes and all that kind of stuff. So just the profit, just the spend." So I was like, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to look on Facebook Marketplace and try to find you a PC that's not the top of the line gaming PC, but has a case big enough to put all of my stuff in. So what I started out with is the case is a Corsair Obsidian, which is a big old honking case, but when I traded, well, it's a long story of how I got this computer. I'm probably not going to go into that story. But anyway, long story short, I found the computer that I have right now on Facebook Marketplace. It was a high school kid that built it, and he was basically building computers and then selling them, and then he'd use that profit to build another one, and then he'd just keep flipping computers. So I had this beautiful, huge Obsidian Corsair Obsidian case, and I wanted to swap out all the stuff in it because I wanted to edit 6K video that's coming out of my Autel Evo 2 Pro. Okay, and I want to, I'm always doing 360 video, and render times is always just an issue. It really is. There's a lot of YouTubers that just do static video or just do normal video in 1080p, and most computers can handle that. But I like to do things in 4K. I also like to do 5.7K video, 360 degree video. I like to do VR video, and I like to do VR period. So with all that said, I needed a beefier graphics card, and I already had an i7, but I really just wanted more. So I wanted to start using DaVinci Resolve to edit my video because it's the closest thing to Final Cut Pro on my Mac. Okay? And it is a hardware-based. It has a hardware-based renderer. That's hard to say. Renderer. It renders video. You got a choice of software render or hardware render. But DaVinci Resolve, where it shines, is if you've got a beefy box. Okay. So I wanted. So I saw this video this guy made, and when I'm going to do a proper video about the computer, and there I will give credit to all the videos that got me here. Okay. But I didn't have time to put all those things together, and I wanted to figure out all the legal issues of, pictures of other people, and I want to give them credit, but I want to ask them how I need to give them credit. So, but it was build a monster PC that can render 6K, and he put together this kit, kind of like my Amazon links, and he has all these links of the different ones. So he told me about the processing unit, and the more cores and the more threads, the better, the faster the video processing is on on the CPU, the computing processing unit, computer processing unit. I don't remember. And then the graphics card also helps in the rendering as well. So the graphics card I've got in here is the GeForce RTX 2080 Super, and it's the overclocked edition with 8 gigabytes of RAM. And it has auto extreme cooling on it, so it's got 2 big fans on it. So those are running. And then the Ryzen 9 by AMD, that is my CPU. And so with that CPU, I'll be able to get pretty far. I'll be able to go through a couple years with that processor, and then I'll be able to upgrade later. And then I needed a motherboard that would handle all that, and I went with an ATX motherboard because the motherboard that I'm going to put in my son's computer is an ATX. So I just wanted to keep the screw holes where they were, and I didn't want to move anything around. And anyway, I did the same thing when I got a hot water heater. I didn't want to move anything. I didn't want to put wires anywhere new or pipes anywhere new, so I just bought the same hot water heater size. So anyway, so that's the motherboard that's I'm putting everything on. I got the Wi-Fi edition because I didn't want to deal with putting another card in there just so I get Wi-Fi. It's got Bluetooth on it. It's the Lightning Gen 4, so it has a lot of gaming goods. And when I was looking at pictures online, it's mostly black and gray. So all the components that I purchased, I wanted them to be black, like most of them black, just so that the RGB would really, really stand out. So I'm going to pause right there. You guys are chatting away, so I don't want to miss anything that you guys are saying. So Eat More Possum says I look 8-bit. That's not good. What's up? What's up? What's up? Chevy asked if the PCIe port was hard to get to. So I took everything out of the box, Chevy, and then I put the motherboard on. Well, I took the motherboard and I put the processor on, the cooler on top of that, put the RAM in it, and then I attached that. Oh, the RAM. I put Crucible Ballistic Gaming Memory in there. I've got 64 gigabytes of RAM, 8 gigabytes extra RAM on the graphics card itself. And then I didn't want to do anything with the hard drives yet. So the hard drives are in there that already have Windows on them. Next month or Christmas time, I will be upgrading the hard drives. But it already has one SSD in it, so I didn't want to go crazy. Because I already kind of went crazy. So this is going to be a process. Brett Nunley says I'm blurry. Eat More Possum. How is the possum? So Brent's, what are you doing? Soldering tiny pads on a GEP RC rocket. Was that one of those old school rockets that had the little parachute in them? And then you'd light it and then it'd shoot up in the air. Y'all remember those? Okay, so I want to address the blurriness. It might be the speed of my internet tonight, because it wouldn't even let me do 1080 video tonight. And I think it's because I switched to 720 last week when I was on my mobile phone out at the football game. So I'm going to try to get that worked out before next week. Because this machine and my internet should be able to handle all that. So Chevy has the Radeon RX 560. Nice. Jet's asking what I paid for the Super. I don't remember, but I remember it being $200 off on B&H because they were about to bring out the 3080s, but they hadn't announced them yet. And they were back ordered, so when I ordered it, it took a week and a half to get here. And then I saw the news about the 3080s, so I was like, maybe that's why I got it so cheap. I think I got it for maybe 400 and something. I don't remember. It's on B&H's website if you want to look it up. It also comes with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So pretty cool. Jet said the RAM megahertz. 3200. What's up? I don't even know how to say that. Will-I-ism? Do I rate Legion laptops? No, I don't rate anything. And I don't have the money to buy a bunch of different laptops or a bunch of different computers, so I can't, like, all the stuff on my YouTube channel I pay for myself, so I do not have a bunch of computers. This was just the reason I'm doing this video tonight is because I was excited about what I got done and I wanted to show you guys. So I'm going to take a swig real quick because my throat is scratchy. So apparently my stream is not doing very good tonight. So I think we're going to go right into so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send an invite to myself. Because this is the good stuff, guys. And hopefully it will be on mute. So if it's not, I apologize. All right. Technical difficulties. Wonder why that did that. All right. Check. There's an echo now. Why is there an echo? The processor is 3.8 gigahertz. No. All right. Check. 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 All right, we're gonna have to deal with that, guys. Let me know if the echo is really, really annoying. So we're gonna switch over to the PC cam. And that doesn't look that great. It's pretty pixely, but you get the gist. Alright guys, so we're going to start the tour with the Antec 120 fans. I got 5 of them, and they're dual ring. So they come out the top, and they come out the bottom. So I got the 5 fan set. And they're ARGB, so they're addressable. So I had a little bit of struggle plugging those fans in because I had to use the J Rainbow header on the motherboard. So there was no documentation telling me that. So I had to actually watch somebody's video, and I just happened to see him do it. And then I've got the 2 fans coming out the front, so that's cool. And then the motherboard is the Tomahawk motherboard, so it's got the Mystic Light on the side of it there. The AMD Ryzen came with this cooler, the Wraith Prism, I think it's called. And it's not branded Cooler Master, but eventually you have to go find the Cooler Master software to get it to work. Here's the RTX motherboard. The only downside about this motherboard is that you cannot adjust that RGB light. It's just some decoration, so that's the only downside about it. Jet, I got the X570 motherboard. But what I did was the guy that I bought it from, he had all the hard drives down here, but you can take that cage off and put it up here. So I might put some cool figurine there or something like that. I don't know. And then the other thing that I did was I got these white extenders for the PSU cables. So there's a 24 pin that goes to the motherboard, then there's the graphics card and stuff like that. So what I wanted was the white ones because I wanted the RGB lights to kind of shine off of the white. Didn't end up working as like I wanted it to, but anyway. The hard drives were in the computer before, and the power supply was in the computer before. So we're going to put this up on RGB. I don't like that hard drive. There we go. That's a cool shot. So, with all that said, this might be getting a little annoying. It's annoying me, but I don't know if it's annoying you guys. But that's the rig. It's very pretty. The power supply jet is a Corsair. So he had a lot of Corsair components in here, and they fit perfectly in this case. Um, but I will say it's a, what is it called? I forgot what the name of the type of power supply it is, but it's where you can change modular. It's a semi-modular power supply. So the ATX pin coming off and the PCIe coming off of it are hardwired into the power supply, and then all of your peripherals are, there's extra ports for those. But the problem was, so I was so excited when I built this computer, so excited to use it, and when I got to it, the when I put the GPU in, I plugged everything up, or I turned everything on, and it said, please plug the graphics, like the power supply cable that goes with this graphic card, into it. So then I had to do all this research. None of these components come with any kind of decent documentation. The graphics card came with, it was literally 2 paragraphs, and then translated into like 15 languages. So I thought I was getting a manual, but I really got a paragraph in a bunch of different languages. And all it did was say, plug this in the right PCIe slot, screw it into your case, and plug the power cord in, and you're good to go. But it didn't say anything like, Jet's asking some good questions. The power supply is, I believe it's 80 gold is the rating. So I put the case on, put everything up, and I plugged everything in, and got that screen. So then I had to unscrew the case and take everything back off. And then, at first when I was doing it, I was really, really careful not to, every time I got my fingers even close to the case, I'm like touching the metal, making sure all the static electricity leaves my hands and all that. And then by the end of the build, I had that thing laying on its side with the case off, things still plugged into it, and I would turn the power supply off and then unplug it, and then I'd go in there and do something, plug it all back in, and then I just kept going back and forth trying to get it to work. The other thing that was a little bit confusing is the AMD Wraith Prism has to have its own software if you want to get everything working correctly. So there's 3 different LED places or regions. There's the logo, the AMD logo. There's the ring that goes around it, and there's the fan. So if you open up their software, you can affect that. It has 2 different leads coming off of it. One is a USB, that goes onto a USB section on the motherboard, and then the other one is a addressable RGB header. And it looks like a 4-pin, but it's like 2 pins, then a blank, and then another pin. So Jet, it was kind of trial and error, and so I couldn't get the graphics card to work for a couple days because apparently I didn't have the right cable. So I had to go back and look at the power supply. If I would have bought the power supply, it would have come with the cables I needed. But since I bought a custom-built PC from another guy, only the cables that were needed to build that computer were included. So I finally ended up just getting a getting a full Corsair power supply cable kit, and that was like $60, but it got me going. Um, but it was the hardest thing to find something that would connect to a power supply by Corsair, because they come with all the cables, so nobody really makes any extra ones. And then to have the 6+2 PCIe cable on the other, or the plug on the other end. So anyway, that was just, I wish there was a computer store around here that I could go to, but I had to do everything on Amazon, and so I had to look at pictures, and the plugs. What I don't understand is, at this point, people make PCs all the time. Back in the day, you'd buy a computer from Apple, or you'd buy a computer from IBM, and they would do all the putting together. But nowadays, you can go in and buy components, and you can build your own computer. I don't understand why the cables and the plugs and the headers and all that stuff is still so minimal. Like, I've got chubby fingers, okay? And there were some of those little 2-pin. There are 1-pin header cables that hook up to the LEDs on the front of the case. It's one tiny little circle you've got to put on one little post, and you got to try not to bend that little post. So the whole time I was just freaking out that I was going to bend something, or because I can be kind of clumsy. So very thankful that everything works, everything goes together. I will say that VR in this rig is ridiculous. I played Stormland, I played Room VR, I got an invite to the beta test of Facebook Horizon in VR. All of those experiences were awesome. And it even made me go purchase Minecraft just so I could see the RTX goodness. So hopefully I'll be able to log on to Nacho's server or something like that, and let him show off his Minecraft builds over my live stream in RTX, so you can see all the shadows and the lighting and stuff like that. So even though it's just a 2080 Super graphics card, it does have all the RTX goodness. So Fortnite's going to have some beautiful reflections on the water and all that kind of stuff. That's another thing. I haven't I haven't rendered any video because I haven't made any video. I was sick for the last several days, so I have not. But that's one of the next things I'm going to do, because DaVinci Resolve on my old rig couldn't even render a Gaussian blur transition. So that's one of the next tests I'm going to do with this rig, but I'm really excited about it. I've never really built a computer before. I've definitely upgraded components, and I didn't really build all of this computer, but I pretty much took the processor, the motherboard, and the graphics card, and the RAM, and I took everything out, all the cables out, and then put it all back together the way I think it should. Because I had to build it in phases, and I'm still kind of building it in phases, the wire management behind the case is okay. But I'll show you guys a little hack that I did. I don't ever see this on any of the PC builds, but every one of my cables, and a lot of my components that came with the computer came with these little things, these little twisty ties, and I use those to cable manage everything, and then that way I could uncable. Like, I can untwist it if I needed to adjust anything. The Antec fans that I bought They have one. Um, they have one RGB hub that you plug all the fans into, and you plug all the power into that hub, and then that hub is powered by SATA. So you can plug the SATA cable that goes to your hard drives. You can plug one of those ports into the RGB hub, and then you only have one cable coming off of your RGB hub that goes onto the motherboard. Now this motherboard has, I think it has 5 headers for fans. It has a CPU fan header and a pump fan header. So it has all these headers for fans, but I only had to use one because the the RGB hub handles all that. So I was really happy about that. I watched another video on how to put everything together, and the reason I had to watch videos and the reason why YouTube is so amazing is that documentation on the motherboard was just okay. It was definitely more intense than the graphics card. The graphics card was pointless, but so I googled. I didn't Google. I YouTubed the Tomahawk Wi-Fi motherboard, and I found one that was like, it wasn't the X570, but it was close. So I watched his video, and he kind of showed me where everything plugs into the motherboard, and that was a wonderful video. It was about an hour and a half, and I'm definitely going to give him credit when I post the actual video. If I hadn't watched that video, I kind of wouldn't know what to do, but I sat there when I was sick. I just kind of watched it, and I took notes, all the stuff I didn't know already. I mean, I know some stuff, but all the stuff I didn't know, I kind of took notes. And I was like, okay, make sure you plug this way, and make sure you line up the arrows, because only one of the pins is voltage. There are all those different little things that aren't really documented very well. But so Jet's talking about a Bitwits parody video of the Verge PC build video. Yeah, I'll check that out. That looks good. Right now I'm using the free edition of DaVinci Studio, but I'm planning on getting the actual version of DaVinci Studio. But I don't know if I want to get a camera first, because if I get a camera, then the DaVinci Resolve Studio will come with it. So anyway, that's the thought. Because I really like the Blackmagic. The Pocket 4K, and they have a 6K version, so I might just go straight to that and sell all my other cameras, but I don't know yet. It's all up in the air. This quarantine has been an interesting season in my life. So my YouTube channel is kind of going in a different direction, and so I'm not quite sure where things are going to line up. Just because last year and the year before, I would do my videos on my lunch break. So I would be in Cool Springs or Brentwood. I'd be all these really cool places on my lunch break. And now that I work from home, which you'd think I'd have more time to do stuff, but oh, Jet said the free edition won't let you use GPU hardware encoder. Got it. So I have to get the professional version, the studio version. But now that I'm sitting here at home, like, I can only do so much at home. Like, go to the high school and do a drone video, and then go fly in my backyard in the construction, and that's kind of about all I can think to do. So I need to find locations around here that I enjoy going to and making video for you guys, and I have to get out of the house. That's the big problem right now is, I can make a PC build video because I don't have to leave my house, but working from home all the time, it's kind of put me in a funk. So, um, so I'm planning on working things out and making things um, a lot better in that respect. Jet, I was able to do 4K video in the free version. I believe, pretty sure. But maybe that was the issue with the blurs. Not, I mean, it would render up to the first transition, and then it would just fail. So I'm gonna be working on that. Um, but yeah, so oh, greater than 4K. Got it. Um, so yeah, I think that's about all I want to talk about tonight, as far as the PC goes. Um, and if you have any more questions for me, Jet, I feel like it's just me and you, Jet. But I don't know who else is in here. Most people left, I think, because the resolution was all pixely. But I want to use this time to let you guys know that um, the my show will not be on tomorrow night, and I'll let you know next week. I think my son's game is on Thursday night next week, but anyway, so that's kind of where things are. Um, but I wanted to definitely get a live stream out this week for you guys to see. Ah, so that's what you're talking about, Brent. I'll have to check that out. I really don't. I am not. I'm not FPV drone savvy, and I spent all that money. The money that I spent on all that was my COVID money, like the money the government gave us for COVID, and so me and my wife talked about how much she could spend on herself and how much I could spend on myself, and then I added some money to it, and that's what I got. I got, in my opinion, like kind of the top of the line FPV drone and all that kind of stuff, and I've done all this research on it. Got the iFlight Bumblebee. I wanted to do FPV right, because I see a lot of FPV videos where the video is all scrambly. I can't handle that. But when I saw the video of DJI's FPV system where like it's 720 video on your face, I'm like, I can do that. So yeah, I bought all that stuff, but I had to send. Brent bought my DJI goggles and my DJI controller, so I do not have that anymore. I still have that little Cinewhoop, Mini Whoop, or I don't know what that thing was called, Tiny Whoop. I still have the Tiny Whoop, so I could fly that. I might upgrade a little bit, but I don't know. I was just afraid I was going to fly that money right into a tree, so I sold it. I got scared. I'm always on the cautious side anyway when it comes to flying drones, and flying something really fast, like into a hole or up a building and stuff like that. I was just like, as cool as I think this looks, I don't think that I have the patience for it right now. I don't even have time to make videos for you guys right now, so where am I going to find time to learn how to fly an FPV drone? So that's where that went. I'm going to sell my FPV drone and just move in a different direction. It's not for everybody, and I don't think it's for me. I think it'd be fun, and I might pick it up later in life, but they've added FPV mode to the DJI Mavic Air 2, so I think I'm going to fly in FPV mode using that drone, and I'm going to fly in FPV mode with my Paranafi, and that's going to be as close to FPV as I'm going to get. So Jet Martin says, why was the processor model number 3700 processor model? Oh my god, oh my god. Oh. So the processor model is the 3900X. And then it's got 4.6 gigahertz max boost, 3.8 gigahertz base. It's got, the socket is an AM4. It's got a heatsink fan included, which is beautiful. It's tiny. I thought it'd be bigger, but I like it. And then it's got 70 megabyte cache unlocked. Built to perform, designed to win. So, yeah. So Williism flies 3 DJIs at the moment. Jet says flying $1,500 over the ocean can be nerve-wracking. Yes. I still won't fly over water. I won't. Because I've had drones fall out of the sky, and it scares the mess out of me. Because if a drone falls out of the sky and it breaks a leg, I can fix the leg. If it falls out of the sky and goes in the water, I've seen drones come back from that, but I've also seen drones completely die from that. Anytime you have electricity going through a circuit board and then water, connects those leads, it's fried. So Jet says, nice, very powerful. That will work well with DaVinci Resolve Studio. Sweet. AMD is killing it. Yeah, I saw a video where the AMD has superseded Intel. So, because all the other computers, this computer used to have an i7 in it. My son's computer that we bought has an i3 in it, so I'm going to take the i7. Oh, that's one thing I could show you guys. I'll show you that. So this is very fragile, but this is my old computer. This is what's in there, or what was in there. I mean, it did great for a couple years, but it has this really ugly brown fan on it. And the motherboard is like blue. I don't know, there's just a lot of things that I feel like he purchased a lot of cheap components and put in it, so I wanted to put some legit components in it. Now they might all do the same thing, but this is also going to be a background in some of my videos, this computer, so I wanted it to look nice. I wanted to perform nice. I will say the fan that's on my AMD Ryzen now it's about that big. But I don't even remember how much RAM I have, but I've got 4 sticks of RAM in here. And I just left everything hooked up because I'm just going to take Gavin's motherboard out of his computer, and I'm going to put this one in it. That cooler might not fit in his computer. But so that's that. So what else? I'm also going to be doing a review on the gaming keyboard and the gaming mouse that I got. I can show it to you guys. I've got it all decked out in Shawnide Studios RGB. So let's bring it over. But right now I got my TV dinner table away from my computer so I can sit back from it. But I've got most of the keys Shine Studios blue, and then I've got the WASD keys red because I saw that on a keyboard, so I thought that was a cool idea. I've got my escape and all my function keys in the orange, and my number keys in the orange, and then I've got the other set of arrows in red. So this is the Rocat Vulcan, and it's kind of funny, but the reason I wanted this the most is because the big volume knob on the right. Because on a Mac you've got volume on the keyboard, but on my PC I didn't. So I did that, and then this is the Rocat or Rocket. I think it's considered Rocket. This is the Cone Amo. It just has some beautiful RGB stuff going on with it. So that's it. Ha! Look at that transition. Perfect. Oh, it's drifting. So yeah, I almost have my computer the way I want it. A couple months ago, I bought a new monitor. I bought the it's a Hewlett Packard NV32. It's a 32-inch monitor, but it only goes up to 1440 resolution, but it has Beats speakers in it, so it sounds amazing and it looks really, really good. So, but the problem with that is I have this Vivo stand, monitor stand that will hold 4 monitors, like one post in the middle, and then it has these 2 arms that stick out. And I've got two 27-inch monitors on those, but it's not wide enough to do it all. So I bought another one that's cheaper. I got a shorter version of it, but I'll be able to use another swing arm, and I'm going to take those swing arms apart and grab one of the extensions off of each one and spread those 2 side monitors out a little bit so I can get them at the angle that I want them. And then I'm going to use the other arm as lights above it. So right now I've got a ring light just kind of sticking out of the top hole. But I'm going to take 2 of my smaller lights and put it on top, just like you see a lot of gamers have the Elgato lights. They're going to be similar to that. I'm not really a gamer, but I do play video games, so I'm planning on, while I'm enjoying myself, having a good time, I'm also going to stream some YouTube, and I'd really like to do some VR now too, because I think the VR is going to be killing it. So the all right, where are we at? Yeah, the CPU cooler is nice. Oh, are you talking about the big honky one? It's kind of funny. I'm sure it does a great job. It has a super quiet fan on it. I just don't understand why the fan's brown. I feel like, because it looks like he attached the fan to it. So I just don't understand what's going on with that. Why anybody would make a brown fan nowadays, much less put it in there. Like, it seems like Radio Shack brown fan for a box that doesn't have a piece of glass on the side of it. Like, it's never meant to be seen, kind of thing. So Willism said it was in the river for 5-10 minutes and worked okay after I let it dry. Good for you, man. That's awesome. I'm always worried about. I've had phones that go through the washer machine and stuff like that. They ended up working later. But I also have had stuff that like little components in it get rusted, or they're just not made for the water. So eventually, it'll never be as good as it was when you got it. You know what I mean? Even like the brushless motors, there's, I guess most of those have copper wiring, but little screws here and there or rust shut, and little things like that. So Jet, he has an ATX case. So it's not nearly as big as my case, but who makes it? NTX. It's an NTX case, but it's smaller. But like an ATX will just fit into it. So I'm not planning on doing anything with his power supply or anything like that, or his hard drive. So I'm going to do the same thing that on his computer that I did to mine. I took my computer used to have 2 Corsair RGB fans, so I'm going to take those 2 fans and put them on his computer and take out just the black ones that he has. And then the plan after that, so I bought his computer for $400 with everything in it. So the plan is to just find a cheap case, take all the components that I took out of his computer and build another computer out of that, and then sell that to someone. So Jet asked, do you know what the color accuracy is on that monitor? So I'm a designer. I'm a graphic designer. And color has always been relative to me. And this is why I say that. As a print designer, you base everything on Pantone colors. As a web designer, you base everything on hexadecimal colors. Nowadays, you have monitors that adjust brightness based on the light in the room. You've got night shift mode that changes things brown. So for the last 10 years, maybe 5 years, I have pulled colors off of, like I've used the eyedropper. So as far as like color accurate, I don't know what color accurate means on a monitor. You've got different profiles. You've got color profiles in your monitors. So like I have a Hewlett-Packard color profile, but I have 2 LG monitors on the side. So in order for me to get all 3 of those monitors to be accurate, I have to pick a profile. And so I have to pick a profile, and then I have to adjust brightness back and forth. So I really don't fool with it much anymore. And you used to have to use a profile that went with your printer and all that stuff. So I just use an extra monitor as a preview, or to show email, to show the Zoom call, all that kind of stuff. Jet, I have no idea what the ratings are on this monitor. It looks amazing. It actually, like, I don't notice how good it looks until I play Fortnite, or I watch the video straight from my Evo drone. I mean, it just looks good. It's only 1440 resolution though, so it can't look amazing, but it's a great little monitor. So what time is it? It's 7:50. So we're gonna go for about 10 more minutes, then I'm gonna call it a night. What you guys think about the football game last week? I know only a couple people showed up. I'd say the best thing about streaming the football game was that my wife had to leave to take my daughter to cheerleading practice, and she was able to watch the stream on her phone while she was at cheerleading, so she didn't have to miss any of the game. So it was pretty cool. But I don't think I'm going to live stream from the football game again. That video has been a pain in my butt. There was copyright, all kinds of copyright stuff on the video because the music they were playing in the background, the halftime show was copyrighted. So like it was like, you're gonna have to get all the proceeds from your video is gonna have to go to AC/DC and Kit, and then Chesney, and there was even this gangster song that was in the halftime show, and I was like, So I had to go through all these. It takes forever for YouTube to process video now. So I'd pick a song and I would say, go edit that song out. And then it would take about a day to do that. And then I'd go to the next copyright claim and I'd say, just pull that song out. And so if you go back and watch the replay of that live stream, it cuts in and out different places. So probably not going to do that much again. But I thought it was really cool that I could do it. I live streamed my wife's grandfather's funeral. Not on my YouTube channel for profit or anything like that, but we're in a quarantine right now, and people don't want to be around other people. But funerals and weddings are one of those things that you can't miss it. Like it's an event in time that you can't get back. You know what I mean? And so there were several family members in their 70s that didn't want to go to the funeral, didn't want to be around people because this virus is going on. So I live streamed that from my iPhone and my iPad, and I thought that was so good. That I was able to live stream to them. They were able to comment. They gave their condolences on the chat and all that stuff. It was really cool. But I just love technology and how you can do that nowadays. So Jet, what YouTube does is they send you this message that says you've got 3 copyright claims in your video. So the first one, if any ad revenue is pulled in from that video, then you have to share that revenue with whoever wrote the song or whoever owns the creative property. So, and every time I upload a video, I have to say, does this have vulgarity? Does it have vulgarity in it? Does it have, religious-based stuff? Does it have sex or nudity in it? There's all these different things that I have to, if I want to make money on a video, I have to say, no, it doesn't have any of that stuff in it. And most of my videos are pretty clean. Every once in a while, a guest will show up on my live stream and say a cuss word. But every video that I edit is completely appropriate. But yeah, so that's kind of what happened. I mean, it's not a big deal. But what's nice is that YouTube has an editor that you can go back and cut out sections of the video. So I went through and, there were some of me walking from behind the stage or behind the bleachers up to the bleachers. And, I went back and watched it, and there was this guy walking in front of me. So it just kind of had his butt for a little bit. And I was like, well, that doesn't need to stay in that video. And I don't know if my son's going to share it with his friends that on the football team, and I don't want to make anybody feel bad about themselves. So I was able to go through and edit those, and it was really cool talking to you guys while I was watching the football game and stuff like that. That was pretty sweet. But anyway, yeah, it's definitely automated, but so yeah, just for at least the last 10 years, when you use what is that app? It has a big S on it, and when it came out on the iPhone, I thought it was the coolest app ever, because you could be in a restaurant and hit the button on your phone, and it would listen to the song that was playing, and it would tell you what song that was. Because you're always out and I'm like, man, that's a cool song. I wish I knew what that was. But anyway, so music on the radio, music on albums, they have metadata hidden in the song track that tells it tells like your radio on your car, what the name of the song is, who's the artist, and all that kind of stuff. So YouTube looks for those flags in the music. Now it didn't pick up the ACD song because I was talking over it, so it really couldn't figure that out. But when nobody was talking and the halftime show was going on, it definitely picked up that music. So, yeah, we have hit 8 o'clock. So I am going to sign out. I think this has been a good live stream. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for checking out my new PC. I'm really proud of it. And hopefully we'll be doing some DaVinci Resolve Studio videos once I learn how to do some of the extra stuff. I mean, the basics are pretty basic, pretty simple. But I want to get into building nodes. I want to get into audio production with it and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell for notifications. I'm going to put out more videos about live streaming. Really cool gadgets, cameras, drones, action cameras, all the good stuff. By the way, GoPro's about to announce something. Oculus is about to announce something. And DJI is about to announce something. So I don't know where my next paycheck is going. But we'll see. Yeah. Have a wonderful night, guys. Peace out.